Welcome back to Area DMG. I'm your host, Philip Wesley, the Mile High Mouth, and for today's episode of Suki Neon, we are reviewing and discussing the second episode of Season 1 of Gravity Falls, The Legend of the Gobblewonker, or whatever, however McGucket puts it. The episode opens with the twins having a syrup race, which I've seen people do with ketchup, and that's kind of gross. But then Grunkle Stan comes in, tells them, hey, we're doing a family bonding thing. They flash back to their previous family bonding thing. Apparently the county jail was so cold. And then he decides, well, he uses what should be the perfect pickup line ever. Like the best pickup line. Okay, who wants to put on a blindfold and get in my car? I'm sure somewhere someone is horribly offended by that joke. I don't care. Anywho, he decides to take them to go fishing, and he's made them little hats, like one that says Dippy and one that says Mabel and all this. And he wants to take them fishing for bonding experiences. However, after like the little syrup race in the cold opening for the episode, well, Dipper notices a little ad for a contest where if someone enters in like a picture of some crazy monster or whatnot, they could win money. And Mabel also notices an ad for a human-sized hamster ball. She declares that she is human-sized. It's perfect. Oh, there's a little bit of foreshadowing actually on the back of the little magazine in the cold opening that Dipper is holding. There's an ad for Gideon's 10 to telepathy, which will be important in later episodes. So yeah, they decide, well, they're stuck here. They don't really want to hang out with Grunkle Stan. And then Old Man McGucket makes his first appearance in this particular show, in the series, and declares that the Gravity Falls Gobblewonker is out and about on the lake. So they run into Zeus, who is actually piloting a boat that I think he made himself, and they decide, well, you know what, we're just gonna ditch our great Uncle Stan and go and get pictures of the Gobblewonker. So they set out to go ahead and do that. And hijinks ensue. It's a decent episode. One thing I have to say about a lot of early Gravity Falls episodes is that they have a lot of skit humor. Skit humor is where you get to a point, then there's a joke, then a stop, and that moves on to another thing, but it doesn't actually, like, it's a slight interruption in flow, but it doesn't actually advance the plot. I guess like a good example of this would be, instead of there's a little bit of skit humor when they're on the island, and there's a couple remarks made. One thing I want to note about like the whole island thing there, before they get on to the island, Dipper buys about 17 of these little disposable cameras, because he explains to Mabel and Zeus that whenever there's some kind of paranormal thingamajig out there, people never seem to have a camera for it. That's why we have blurry pictures of like dogmen or Bigfoot, bad pictures of the Loch Ness Monster, or blurry photos of UFOs. Whenever some paranormal thingamajig shows up, people just don't have a camera. So I actually wrote down how much he spent on the cameras. There's a joke there where he buys 17 disposable cameras. They're about $3 to $5 each. He spent anywhere between 51 to 85 of those. Well, actually, I don't think he spent that money himself, because you'll notice in later episodes they seem to sell those kinds of disposable cameras at the Mystery Shack. So he pretty much stole all those cameras from the Mystery Shack. Good going on you, Dipper. Anyways, after Old Man McGucket declares about the presence of the Gobblewonker, Dipper wants to go ahead and get that photo so he can become a famous adventurer or a famous person, because, creatures. And Mabel wants that human-sized hamster ball. which leads to a pretty good little cutaway gag where she shames a tiny hamster, and then like wanders past like 1980s style people. It's kind of amusing. There's a couple other jokes there. There's a part there where she's making a pelican say terrible jokes, and it's totally Grenda's voice from later on. And the B plot with Grunkle Stan trying to, I guess, find someone to relate to in the lake that isn't the twins is kind of amusing. In fact, this is the episode where that Joaj meme came from. Joaj just being like a play on the word joke, and the joke being, well, there's this part where there's this couple, and one of them definitely has a ring. He's about to ask his girlfriend to marry him, and Stan comes up and he's like, "Hey, do you want to hear a joke? My ex-wife still misses me, but her aim is getting better. Her aim is getting better." You see, it's funny because marriage is horrible. And then the couple wanders off. The joke is supposed to be pretty bad, because like it's an uncle joke, you know, like a dad joke. One of those jokes where it's delivered kind of innocuously, like, you know, but her aim is getting better. You could always, you know, deliver it differently. Be like, you know, relationships are weird. My ex-wife, she still misses me because I blinded her with acid. Anywho, going back to this, they discover that the Gobblewonker is actually a big machine that McGucket built himself, because that's what he does. He builds horrifying machines of death. I wonder if that's important for anything. Oh, there's also some great little gags with beavers. We're still beavers. And that's pretty funny. A lot of the visual style of this episode is pretty on point. It's pretty good. Not all of this is really filler, because there's little bits and pieces you need to know about this, because some of these characters will become much more important later on. At the end of the day, Dipper and Mabel decide they should spend some time with their Grunkle Stan, and that's kind of the moral there. That comes back to the whole familial relationships between these characters, and that's kind of the basis of Gravity Falls. The whole Gobblewonker thing, nothing really supernatural here going on except for McGucket's crazy inventions. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a pretty good episode overall. I liked it. Did you like it? Do you have any notes or comments when you saw it? Let me know in the comments below. Hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And until the next video comes out, you are now caught up. Hoo-wee!